Greetings, Carl Richards here. A quick thought from my latest book, Volume 2. This is a collection of 52 essays about money and meaning. 52 sketches, 52 essays about money and meaning. And the one I wanted to share today is called The Problem and You. And I'm going to do something that I used to do all the time. In fact, I did it Marketplace Money on NPR with Tess Vigeland. We used to call it Art on the Radio. And so I would describe this sketch. But for those of you who are watching the video, here, I'll show it to you real quick. You can see it there. And let me describe it for those of you who are just listening. Imagine a big circle. So a piece of white paper. I pull out a Sharpie. I draw a big circle. And I label the big circle the problem. And inside the big circle, I put a little dot right in the middle of the big circle, right in the middle of the problem. I put a big dot and I label it you. Now, I often want to change these to first person. I often want to put me because it is me and you, right? Like the reason I drew this sketch is because I found myself so often dealing with this challenge. So let me now read the essay from Volume 2. The Problem and You. Do you have a problem? Or is it actually that the problem has you? Now that's the full essay. In Volume 2, some of these are one sentence long and some of them are a page long. But the problem and you. It's so interesting to me, the stories, how easy it is to get hijacked by stories in my head that I then label a problem. And what's fascinating is that these things we call problems are no more, they're just projections of something that may or may not happen in the future, right? I actually don't have any problems right now. So in a very sort of literal sense, I don't have a problem. The problem has me in its control, right? I've been hijacked by the problem. There are two really fascinating, really sort of insightful, witty Mark Twain quotes that I always think of when I share this essay. And so let me just share both of these with you too. This is Mark Twain. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. And here's the other Mark Twain one. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. So it's not just me. It's not just you. I think this is part of this human condition, is that we often get hijacked by stories. Sure, there's a fact pattern, and even the fact pattern is up for debate. I found that out recently in a conversation with the person I love most in my life, my wife. That we had been in the same experience, sitting right next to each other in the same conversation. And we had dramatically different experiences, right? And then we each, me more than her, because she's much better at this than I am, we each layered stories on top of it to the point where I was completely hijacked by the story. And I couldn't even get back to my fact pattern, let alone some objective idea of the truth. So the question is, right? Do you have a problem? Like, are you in possession of the problem? Are you in control of the problem? Or is the problem in control of you? Just a thought from Volume 2. Cheers, my friends.